Good morning and welcome to Morning Brew. Sorry about that, everyone. Let's start out this morning. Uh, about 6 minutes before the service was supposed to start, Rabbit Hole Clicker gave a thumbs up. And DG Sound said, Good morning, Brew. Jedi Bill said hello. And about the time I got on, Dave said he thinks I may be sleeping in, having computer issues. And then here we go. Yeah. Rabbit Hole Clicker says, I hope everyone is doing well. And Professor Brady Smix says, good morning. Well, I've got interesting information. My computer is now, yes, giving me issues. Apparently, I'm going to have to just keep this thing running until it dies. Because turning off is a bad thing. At least according to my computer. So, needless to say, this will not be an adventure I want to experience again. But I will say this. At least I didn't have to go through 3 of the stupid. It took longer than normal, but at least it didn't take 40 minutes longer. So what's going on, everyone? Now that I'm caught up in chat, surprisingly, Rabbit Hole Clicker, it's the computer's got issues. It's just kind of a crap computer. I thought I was getting more than what I got. And so, yeah, it's not working. Well, I'm working with it. It works right now, and that's all. I'm satisfied with it. And Kaplabra Pray 5. And the point is, I'm not going to let this, what happens sometimes just happens. I'll figure out a way to get on if I can't, if this thing stops, I'll just have to take a break every once in a while. Because at least with this, I can go in the other room and get a cup of coffee and well, if I have another computer, it'll probably be a tower, and so that will not be mobile. And interesting part was, though, I was almost dancing along to the tune of the Morning Brew, so that does help cheer me up. I think that's why I picked it. If I had my choice, I would pick laptop. Why? More mobile. Uh, Desktop is better, but And I forgot to pin that comment. Let me do that right after. How about Inverto Prey 5?
Hello world, it's Berto Prey 5, Kapla. And that's exactly what I was going to tell you to do, to pin the comment. Good morning, Captain. I literally woke up 2 minutes ago, so I was happy to see that you had just, well, not happy, but I thought that would be like 10, 15 minutes behind, but I see you had just started, so
Yep.
things worked out.
Yep.
Sorry
if I didn't
about
need
the
to
computer.
Could be worse. It still works right now.
Yeah.
It has issues, but it still works.
Well, I'm going to take my sugar and I'll be listening, Bubby.
Absolutely.
Right back.
So, anyhow, let's see here. And don't forget about the other one, Jedi Bill. The exclamation bird. No, let's see here. So, what's going on, everyone? Let's see here. Surprisingly, I don't see Mara in the chat. Maybe his family ended up, maybe family time ended up just doing him in. I'm kidding. Uh, oh, he had to spend time with his family yesterday. For a birthday party. Something he wasn't looking forward to doing. And so, it probably tired him out. Well, see, mine is actually newer. My older one worked better than this thing. Because my older one, you're still able to swap out the memory and the hard drive. This thing, you can't do anything. You can't do anything to it. And it overheated, and there was actually a crack in the case because of the overheating. So I have my computer on a fan, and in order to avoid any issues with it. I mean, we're talking a severe crack. Basically, from the USB point, this is an 8. I think it's a 17-inch monitor. So basically, from the USB port, just behind that or in front of that, excuse me, all the way about the midpoint of the computer. So just under the HP. It's a rough estimate. But it works. I don't like it. I like my old computer, but I can't figure out how to get it to work now. Because when I don't know, something happened and it stopped connecting to the internet. Somebody said it could be a virus. I said, okay, that's a good idea. But I can't check it because I can't download anything to check it out. I can't connect to anything to check it out. I've even tried using some of the little mobile things where you can just, use a little memory stick. Doesn't work. Usually the files are too big. At least the ones I found. And the one I did get to work didn't show anything at all. Well, see, what I would need to do is, unfortunately, they both aren't HPs like this. Or what I would do, just crack open the case the rest of the way, get out the whatever hard drive, and pop it in there.
Just because they're both HPs doesn't mean you can just move a hard drive.
Well, the problem is then it would need new drivers that I don't know where or how I would download.
Well,
Because
you
when I've
download
tried
from
switching
HP's website.
on a working laptop, switching to a different hard drive, I couldn't connect. The computer would just kind of not be. It would function, kind of, but it wouldn't access everything because it didn't have all the drivers. I couldn't get any drivers because I couldn't connect to the fucking internet.
But right now you have a working laptop.
That's not true, sci-fi. And good morning, Sci-Fi Nation. Well, I was only doing that one time in order to get information off of one hard drive that I absolutely needed. That was when my other computer failed. And I forgot to get my password list out. I was freaking out going, what the fuck am I going to do? Of course, this is long before I was on YouTube.
See, right now with the working computer, you go to HP's website, you put in the model of your broken computer, you download all the drivers to a USB. And then that's it. If you were I mean, I would never take a hard drive out of a working computer, put it into a
And
bad
anyhow,
one, and try to restart
okay,
it.
okay. Uh, I need to. Uh,
It's okay. You don't want to talk about this. It's fine.
okay.
We move on.
Hopefully, Bird will be finished soon.
Can you not hear me?
And I can't hear a damn thing. Let me reconnect my.
Hello, world. Can people in chat hear me?
They can hear you. I had to
Okay.
reconnect my.
There you go. Okay. I'm here. Yes, I'm talking.
Yeah, I hate computers.
I
really
noticed
do.
you don't have a love of them.
I mean, it's kind of a love-hate relationship. I love them till I have issues, and then it's like, yeah, piece of shit. That's basically all it is. And I know exactly how old the computer is because I got it back in 2019 after my
Hello, computer, says Dave Hughes.
and I wish. No, I don't actually. Um, but my mom recommended that I go ahead and get a new computer. That's why I have an old computer and a new computer. The old one still functions, sort of. But I need to. Once I started using this, I didn't use it as much, and then I tried to connect when I was having problems before. And blah, blah, blah. I found out it won't connect to the internet. That was when I went through all the rigmarole, and so anyhow, enough computer talk. At least I have coffee.
I am a little out of it this morning. I feel like I may have lost too much salt. I don't know. I'll check in a little bit, but I certainly lost weight the last day. I dropped at least, I'd say, probably 2, if not more pounds, which is good, but quick. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just, everything seems to be doing better. My oxygen numbers were a little higher this morning. My sugar numbers were a little lower this morning. Things, were physically going good, except that I just feel a little bit off. Now, it could be that I woke up late and that I just need to wait for my pills to work. So I'll give it a few more minutes before I guess I worry too much. But
The pills.
yeah,
Got to take one.
just a wee bit off. Like for the first time ever, I threw out the cover of my Lancet before taking the Lancet out. Never done that before. I know. I'm just saying. But it is nice to see the oxygen at 98.
Very good.
Yeah. It is. I'm having withdrawal symptoms from my sodium. Okay, wake up, anti-tracker. I need some salt. My YouTube was having, I don't know if you were watching anything. YouTube was having so many problems last night. I mean, besides my stream with the buffering, every stream I went to after that, YouTube was defaulting to 144p. Other people were just asking me, like, why is everything so blurry tonight? Like, change the resolution. And then I don't know, I was uploading the movie for Cinema Saturday to the server. That also took forever. So I wonder if it wasn't a more general internet issue and not like maybe Amazon Web Services or something was having an issue. Maybe it wasn't just YouTube.
Oh, about time there, JP's. What have you been up to? Rabbit Hole Clicker runs 3 laptops or desktops at a Raspberry Pi. At this point, if I could get a Raspberry Pi to run what I needed to run, I would do it.
Well, hell yeah. If it could run what needed to run, everybody would do it. The problem is, it can't. I mean, if I could get my Google phone to run everything I needed it to run, then I wouldn't need a computer. But
I would never give up a computer for a.
well, if you could get it to run everything you needed it to run, then by definition, you wouldn't need the computer.
But I like computers better.
I understand that, but I would include in that a keyboard and a monitor, so you wouldn't know the difference.
Oh, okay. So you would.
You would have a keyboard hooked up to a phone. You'd have a monitor hooked up to a phone. It would look like a computer. It would feel like a computer. Like with a Raspberry Pi, you would still need a keyboard and monitor.
True.
The Pi is just the CPU part.
And where would you plug in your mic and cam?
USB. You have USB ports.
On your phone. Oh, okay, sure.
Well, phones do have USB. Even today, phones have USB. A modern phone or a future phone could have an extra USB 3 port, and you could hook everything up to that. It's not the end. It's not. I mean, the same way with the Raspberry Pi. I have a couple of USB ports.
Yeah, but they actually have USB ports, not the micro or mini.
Yeah, but it's just a. I have an adapter to change it to a full size USB port on my phone. I have that already.
And thank you, Jedi Bill, for dropping by. Get some sleep.
Take care, Jedi Bill.
By the way, do you think that your work would notice if you happen to walk in, take a couple of computers, and walk out? Just, just say.
Did
Yeah,
that say a Samsung DAX?
Samsung
Oh,
Dex.
DAX. Never heard of DAX. Now, a Samsung DAX would be a good solution to connect to me.
My Pi 4 I use for running Kali on. What? Okay, that'd be
It
anything.
hasn't been called Cali in like 10 years.
What?
It's it's an interface for like watching television and movie,
Mm.
music, multimedia, streaming, home entertainment system kind of thing. Usually you would connect it to a television.
DAX is a software.
Really? Because I have a Samsung phone. I never had a DAX
No,
or a
why
DAX.
don't you look?
I do. There's no DAX on this phone.
Oh, you still get fart dust. Why am I not surprised? So, what's going on this morning, and everyone in chat? Just want to say hello again to everyone. Good afternoon, randomness. Good morning, JPs. Are you enjoying not working? Yes, that.
YouTube has been recommending to me constantly train videos. Clicked on one train video, and now thinks I want to watch all the train video. People on trains spending taking a 12-hour, 24-hour, 48-hour trip on a train and condensing it down to a 15 or 20-minute video. How do I get it to stop? I'm not a train person, god damn it. I thought one
Not
video of a
interested.
train would be
Not
interesting.
interested. Not
I
interested.
know, but it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Not interested. Tell us why. Because I don't want to fucking see trains.
Trains suck.
No, you see, how do I know that I don't like the video if I haven't watched it? I can't say that. And I haven't already watched the video. I just don't want to watch the video. So I
I
can't
said
tell you
trains
why.
suck.
That's the problem. I don't know that. Well, listen, trains don't always suck. There are times trains could be interesting.
Okay, your algorithm sucks. Let me choose what the fuck I want to watch, and it ain't trains.
And then they really gonna take up one of the 4 prime spots for the splashdown tonight. That's not till 7 p.m.
What are you talking about?
The SpaceX, the all civilian crew
Yes,
that's in space is splashing down tonight.
one of the
7 p.m. Eastern. They return to Earth. Or at least the stream starts at 7. I don't know when they actually. I thought the news said 7, so I'm not sure. I don't know. Did the algorithm get suckier? Or did all the people I used to watch just stop making videos? Probably both.
both. I think Salty forgot how to make videos, to be quite honest.
It's not that he forgot. He's up front. He doesn't have the patience to do it anymore because of his MS. And I'll be honest, I don't have the physical strength to do a lot of the videos I want to do right now either. I've got a ton of ideas, but the thought of starting a video that I know is going to take me hours to record and then God knows how long to edit, it's like I don't even begin. If it's something I can't do in a day, I gotta just say no. I'm not. It sucks. I can't wait. Hopefully, once I get some strength back, I can do some of these videos I want to do. Mm. Mm.
Well, at this point, there aren't any videos I want to do. I finally just given up on even bothering. If I make a video, it's going to be a rare thing, and it's going to be a one and done thing. Record it,
JP says,
done.
give me all your ideas. JP, to be completely honest, some of them is just some of my favorite or most interesting DS9 episodes I want to talk about how it affected me, how because there's a lot of DS9 episodes that like I feel taught me life lessons growing up. I mean, I was a teenager, and some of these were hit me pretty hard, and I think they shaped who I was. And I would just talk about it for 15, 20 minutes, but there's a lot of editing. And my bigger ones involve nitpicking entire movies. So those are ones that I think will just take forever. Hey, Darren. Good morning.
Hey, Bird. Good morning. I heard you like trains.
Fuck you, Darren.
So you only watched one video, and now everything is trains. Suggesting
Everything is fucking trains.
Was that having to do with the conversation we had before, where I was talking about?
Well, I think if I remember, I told you I just watched a train video.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, gotcha.
I think because YouTube put it in front of me. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting, and I clicked on it. I didn't go searching out a train video.
Gotcha.
But then once YouTube put it in front of me, and I took their bait. Now they're like, we got them hooked.
Yeah. No, Nonstop Dan is the channel that I think is interesting. This guy reviews the business class and first class of world airlines.
See, I think the mistake was not only did I watch the video through the end, I commented on it.
Oh, okay.
And it was.
Well, eventually it will go away.
He's hooked.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure that a train ride through Europe would probably be different than an American train ride, for sure.
Bird is transphobic.
Yeah. The trains would probably be faster and newer, for one thing. I mean, I don't think we even have any other passenger train outfit other than the quasi-government organization called Amtrak, right?
I don't think so.
Used to have a whole bunch of them that did, almost like airlines. You had one that would cover a region of the United States, but then they all kind of consolidated.
Yes. Don't worry, Random Menace. The train is coming soon. They're building it now. Good one, JPs. So did Doomgok ever get to your super chat?
No, I didn't see that he did. But
he will.
Yeah.
It's just probably towards the end.
It was only a $5 one.
Yeah, he I don't know a few, but he does actively say if you're gonna go to sleep to please give him a 10-minute heads up, and he'll soup search for your chat.
Gotcha.
Like the mods will tell him. I mean, I've never done it because I don't feel like I want that treatment, but other people do. So he does do it. He don't mind.
He does make a very strong, and I guess since he's got his mods in on it too, a concerted effort to accommodate subscribers and legionnaires and things like that on the streams. I think he does a lot more than a lot of other streamers do that are his size or larger. So
yeah.
But no, the guy's got an interesting singing voice. I'm saying he should record an album.
Oh, it is on his bucket list of. He's talked about it that he would like to record an album at some day.
Yeah,
it's something he really wants to do.
Have it be available on vinyl. Yeah, which you can do, by the way. I mean, there's still companies in the United States that make vinyl records, believe it or not.
No, I believe it. Yeah. It's making a comeback. Were you at the Frolics, Captain? Oh, he muted himself. Okay, he's probably getting coffee.
I was bouncing back and forth between the Frolic and
Salt.
a certain other stream. Yeah, yeah.
I asked him. He hadn't seen your video
No,
as
that's
yet,
fine. That's
but
fine.
now he'll watch it.
Probably. Yeah. Number of other people were making references to it in the chat. Indie Tiger, for example, stuff like that.
There are a few people I miss talking to over there. I don't know if you tune in, but
No, when I first started watching Doomcock's stream, he was singing a very interesting song. It was a parody of what we do with a drunken sailor.
Yeah.
Only it was how do we talk to a stupid Karen?
Yeah.
And it's some pretty good lyrics in there. So tell her that her husband is in the closet. Tell her that her husband is in the closet.
He's a catcher, not a pitcher.
That's the one thing about Karens is that they're usually married and they usually got a husband, but some of the funnier Karen videos are where this woman's chewing out this guy in the parking lot for taking her spot or something like that, and then the husband rolls by and goes, get in the car, just get in the car, and the guy who's filming is like, hey man, take control of your wife, will ya? But yeah, we had a situation in my hometown here where somebody recorded a Karen trying to cross the street and yelling at a driver who was in their car and not masked, and made a big scene. Yeah, made a big scene in the middle of the street. Then it turned out that this Karen was the mayor of the wife of the mayor of the city. So that went over real well.
that would be on the who gives a shit list.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Because, why would you wear a mask in the car when you're not
by yourself? Yeah. We see these people all the time. They're in their car by themselves wearing a mask. It's just dumb. And of course now ever since last year when the back was broken on the whole COVID thing, hardly anybody wears a mask where I live now. But once in a while, because it's still a university town, you'll see somebody wearing one, and they probably have some government job or some government adjacent job, and they just have gotten used to wearing them. Wear them everywhere.
Yeah, I get one when I go to the hospital. I wear it while I'm in the hospital. The minute I walk out the door, bye-bye mask. I still remember there was a point, people were saying, well, this is the new normal. No, it's not.
That term, the new normal, was coined during the Obama administration when a woman complained to him about the changes that the Affordable Care Act made. She asked the president, "Is this the new normal?" And he more or less agreed with her. So that's a loaded term. Anybody catch Deej's farm rant yesterday?
No, I didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, he was out there with his. He's harvesting corn, I think, And yeah,
YouTube does show Deech's rants. I'll give him that.
yeah.
I don't think I've ever missed a Deech farm rant. Again, because I make it a point to comment on those videos.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the secret to the algorithm.
Uh-huh.
Now that
Yeah, so if you watch
think
this
about it.
as a video, comment on it.
The problem with
Yeah.
the live stream is you can't comment until the live stream's over.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There are people that watch this after it's over, believe it or
Yes,
not.
yes, and definitely. If you're watching after it's over, leave a comment, even if it's just, hey, I'm watching, or for the YouTube or whatever. And that'll make sure YouTube
Bird's a
puts you up.
jerk, or go bird, or something.
Hail Karoga.
Or hail on Kuroga. Either way.
No.
Or you can even talk about FE. I don't care. Just leave it in the comments section.
Man.
People are going to think I've lost my mind.
We don't think it, Captain.
No.
We're pretty sure.
Thank you. I love you too, Bird.
Oh.
And there's no doubt. So, yeah.
There's good crazy and bad crazy.
Dave G is saying, wow, Lego ideas are going for a working Johnny 5 from Short Circuit.
Really?
They need 10,000 votes to be considered. 2,711 pieces. The concept looks good, but what is a working Johnny 5? Because when you tell me a working Johnny 5, I'm thinking a sentient robot. That's a working Johnny 5. Is this just what a remote controlled robot? A robot that just moves around with a motor in it? That's okay. It's working to a point, but as Legos go, it doesn't really require any artificial intelligence. The whole point of Johnny 5 was he was alive.
A bit of trivia about that. You know that in the original theatrical cut of the film, which was in theaters, the character was not referred to at any point in the film as Johnny or Johnny 5.
Yeah.
It was called Number 5. And they had a song on the soundtrack by El DeBarge called Who's Johnny? And people kept making the association that he must be singing, about this robot and that his name was Johnny 5. So when it went to home video, I think what they did was they actually re-looped the whole movie in order to make it more marketable. And he retroactively became known as Johnny 5. But in the original theatrical cut, it was Number 5. Number 5 is alive.
Yes. And
I remember, what was it? Shadow Stevens, when he was doing his top 40 on Sunday morning, when they got to the El DeBarge song, he mentioned that. He's like, this is a pretty popular song considering it's singing about a person who doesn't actually appear in the film, because, he made light of it.
Oh, it has movable eyebrows. Now, okay, I get it now. Definitely realistic. But does it come with the laser beam? That would be mine.
Does it come with a young Ali Sheedy?
Need input.
I'll take the young Ali Sheedy, but not Steve Guttenberg. Yeah.
Oh, well, if you could beat the shit out of him. Yeah, well, then maybe let's say make you coffee. Why not? Here, just shut up and make coffee. I would do that sometimes.
Ali Sheedy had that girl next door look in all those 80s films.
So she kind of went all psycho on that car.
On what car?
I mean, granted, she had good reason to, but
I mean, the only film where she didn't really, she kind of broke out a little bit was in Breakfast Club, where she played what can be considered, I think, a goth forerunner in the beginning of the film, and then they made her look pretty at the end.
I actually kind of liked it before, but whatever.
Yeah. She was edgy. But what's funny is, of course, for in the era of the Breakfast Club, the idea that she would dress, have black eyeliner all the time, and and dress like a kind of like a bag lady. The idea is that that's something to be avoided. That's something that you do, when you're depressed or whatnot. And then of course, Molly Ringwald, gives her a makeover, and but today, of course, that would be looked at as they're attacking her independence, and she's becoming a conformist, and all that stuff.
Now, there were still people who thought that then, but if they weren't as vocal as they are now.
Yeah.
Vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like everybody should understand and believe their opinion. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
No, I fully support everybody's right to their own opinion. I just don't have to hear it or agree with it.
Cap,
Yep.
we need a little bigification here.
Okay, just a moment.
Oh, is that the sass?
It is sassy.
Oh,
Lovely beagle.
Sassy
I didn't realize Sassy was a
girl.
beagle. That's your old bed, isn't it?
No, well, it's a backup.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And the new one hasn't come yet.
yeah.
Sassy. Hey,
Oh, Sassy's cute. Fun watching. See, you could make videos of just Sassy.
I don't think they'd mix well with the
I didn't say on
subscribers.
your channel.
That's true. I could make the Sassy Oprah channel.
Yes.
Okay, Sassy, I'll let you have some privacy. Okay, thank you, Captain.
Oh, you're quite welcome. And Brandon Menace asks, What's on Cinema Saturday today?
Today is Dirty Work, tribute to Norm Macdonald.
That is a good choice.
I hope. I know comedies are iffy. They don't usually get a very big following, but Norm Macdonald had to be done. Had to be done. Oh, Dave G, that's nice. And to be clear, I was saying it was nice that it made you go pet your dog. The fact that you said Sassy's a cute pup was also nice. But see, Sassy, you resulted in somebody going to pet their dog. She's like, nobody's petting me right now. And no, there's no Will Ferrell in the movie. Random Menace.
Oh, thank God.
God.
People don't like that guy.
Actually, to be honest, I haven't seen the movie, but I did look through IMDb. I didn't see Will Ferrell. And I did do the look at the screenshots. There was no nudity that I needed to cut out. So I think we're...
I'm still wanting to see some of those Japanese girls in bikini ads.
Not happening.
That was fun.
I purchased Dirty Work.
That was kind of funny.
Here's the real movie, Bird. What?
It is available on HBO Max for streaming if anybody has HBO Max. Oh, wow. It was directed by Bob Saget. I had no idea.
Dirty bastard. We have to be talking about that before.
Got Chevy Chase, Don Rickles. Got a whole bunch of famous. Mark Ruffalo. No, Frank Ruffalo. Rufo. Oh, never mind. I have no idea who that is.
No idea.
Good morning.
Uh-huh. Talking to Charlie, I hear.
Yes.
Oh, Charlie's there, huh?
Not there.
Video.
Called in.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of sweet hearing Mama pray talk.
He's starting to say hi. It's very nice. If I say hi, Charlie, he says hi. It's very cute.
He must be getting in. Is he into the terrible twos already, or past the terrible twos?
He's just a couple months past one.
Huh.
Was it June 23rd? Was his birthday. July, August, September. So 3 months. Almost 3 months. 1 year, 3 months.
Yeah, with my experience, 2 is fine, 3 is hell.
He is
Wait till he's a
at
teenager.
like 98th percentile for height, but at like 50th or less even for weight. He's like very especially for my family, he's very thin child. I had a dream where I don't know, it was in the future, and he had filled out, so to say. It was like a year later, and he was big in all dimensions. And man, he was scary. He was like, he'd want to come up, and he's just like a freaking little Hulk monster. I was like, oh my God, he's gonna hit me. Not on purpose, but
I don't know if I told you.
Morning 5 admits his fear to his nephew.
yes, he's gonna become bigger than me, I'm afraid.
Bigger, stronger, faster.
So
He's probably
Better than
already
he was
stronger.
before.
you didn't try to play with
I think what I said totally went over Bert said.
$6 Million Man reference. I got it.
Yeah, I knew you would get it.
Yeah.
So of course Mama Praise happy because she's happy with Charlie. So let me get back to the chat. So what's going on, JP's? Haven't seen what you said. And good morning, Captain Scott. Captain Deckard Spock, excuse me. Need more coffee, obviously.
Oh, and next Cinema Saturday is True Lies, as a personal request of Jedi Bill for his birthday, which was fine. I like True Lies.
Yeah.
It's
Probably
a
Tom
little on
Arnold's
the
best
long
movie.
side, but it's a good one. Haven't seen it in 20 years, so it'll be a nice rewatch.
So I have a question, Bird.
Yep.
Are you going to be having Cinema Saturday on the 4th Saturday in December?
I did not look out that far. There's a 4th Saturday, Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know, Cap. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. If I do, it will be a Christmas movie.
Cool.
So if that also would mean that New Year's Day is, I assume, or New Year's Eve. New Year's Day is also a sad day. Yeah. Well, New Year's Day I probably do. I don't know about Christmas. We might skip it that day. We'll see. Now, Twilight Zone will go on Sunday, but we may skip a cinema Saturday.
And hello, Deej.
I.
What's going on? Getting ready to go to the farm.
Deej, I want you to treat my corn with a little more respect. I don't like it going through a grate on the ground with bugs and rocks and shit. Please, I want each kernel individually placed on a raised conveyor belt and checked for any type of dirt. Thank you. I'll pay a little extra. Don't get me wrong. I understand that it'll cost a little extra, but 10% or something. Make it happen.
You could start a market for that bird.
Gourmet corn, I know. I'll only take 20% of the revenue.
A true Ferengi at heart, aren't you, bird? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get ready for work. I will talk to you guys later.
Absolutely. You have a good day, Darren.
You too.
Take care, Darren.
Take care.
Let's see. Interesting.
Hopefully your
So
day goes well.
two of the three people listed as starring in Dirty Work have passed away.
Ah,
Well, the other one was an old man, so I guess
right.
it's not too surprising. Seen any interesting TV or movies like that?
Not really. What about you?
Not yet. We're going to probably today start season 6 of Lucifer. But well, like I said, well, you guys know I finished Stargate Universe last week with Mama Pray. So this week we'll start Lucifer. After that, I'm not really sure. There's stuff coming out. I mean, it's not all terrible. But
Yeah, unfortunately, all the stuff coming out is from streaming services, and you have to subscribe and pay for all these fucking streaming services.
yeah, but you can get rid of cable.
Okay. If I get rid of cable, I'm going to call in today. I'm going to find out exactly how much my internet's going to be
Oh shit.
without it.
Yeah, okay. I gotcha. Yeah, if you get your internet through cable, you might as well just keep cable. I understand. I forget not everybody gets internet through their phone company like me.
And if I get internet through my phone company, it's going to end up being really crappy. It'll be DSL.
Yeah, I get the fiber, but Verizon.
So I either have what I have or DSL, and that'll be real YouTube friendly. Uh, and good morning, the Bosco scenario, and good morning, PCAT.
The Blah Basco scenario. He had a stream last night. Congratulations. Again, 300 subscribers.
Well, congratulations.
307, I believe, at last I looked.
It should be about 2 weeks before you're past me, and congratulations on that as well. And good morning, Arabic.
Failure.
And if you're not past me within 2 weeks, then shame on you. Um,
I see the TV and the cat.
I went to click on Deej's comment. It kicked me out of the studio.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. I don't know.
Did you call me, Joe?
Yeah.
Me having the TV programming or not, it cost me another $80 a month. It's been 22 months on streaming. I'm going to subscribe to Disney Plus and HBO Max. I wouldn't mind getting access to HBO Max. Now, I would strongly suggest you find a family member who has one of them, or family members who have both of them, and just work out a deal. Use the family plan. Oh, that sucks. Like I said, 2 weeks you should be past me. If not, I'll be surprised. And good morning, Resolute Germ. Do you have things set up and ready to go for later? And so, how is your morning going, Paula? Do you have to work today? Not yet. You'll be set up soon. Okay, cool. I'll set it up now. Please.
Release date of this movie was June 12th, 1988. What was I doing? Let's see. It would have been my sophomore year of college. In fact, college probably would have just ended. So I think that was the summer I decided to get into shape. I think that was it. It was probably biking and walking and exercising almost every day. I lost quite a bit of weight before I started the next year.
And that's exactly what I was wondering. 1988.
1998. I'm sorry. 1998. Wait, is it 1988, the movie? Did I misread it?
You
No,
said
it's 98.
1988. You
I
said
meant 98.
1988. Yeah.
Okay, 2 years before Y2K. I was in college. I graduated college in 2000. So of course, I was doing all that getting in shape, trying to get a girl. Didn't work out. In the end, I ended up in shape, but no girl. So it was, I won't say it was all for nothing, but it was all for nothing.
Well, if that was the point, then yes.
Inexplicably, for a girl who had no boyfriend for her entire life, she found a boyfriend that summer she went home. Turned out later that I'm pretty sure he was gay. They did not last long, but long enough that I did not yet have a chance after that. And yeah.
I have a question. If he was gay, why go after her?
He think he was like one of those like closeted people. He didn't want to admit to himself he was gay. I mean, they were from a small town. They weren't from the city. They were from a small town in New England, and I think in those days it was still a big deal for that to, he was trying to lie to himself that he wasn't. I noticed it right away. I told her the first day I met him, I was like, he's clearly gay. And she's like, she didn't even defend it. She's like, he's working on it or something. And then she later admitted that, yeah, when they broke up, she yelled at him and told him, you're gay. You still shouldn't be dating women. I was right.
Usually not a good thing to be right about.
Listen,
Other-
I don't care if he is. I mean, I didn't think any less of the guy. It was
Well,
fucking
no.
bad timing for myself. But other than that, I mean, I don't care if he's gay or not gay. It doesn't make aside from him ruining my master plan, it really
See,
didn't make
that's exactly why. You ruined your master plan.
Yeah, but I'll be honest. If it had to be ruined, that's a hilarious way for it to be ruined. So
True.
better than her saying, he left me so sexually satisfied, I could never take another lover. I mean, he was basically saying the complete opposite. So
Yeah, it would be interesting though to have a. Never mind. Wait, I'll check
I
and
got
see.
a Jalo real quick. Yeah.
Go for it. Okay. It says, okay, I'm good with everyone. Prepare for another another rant video today. Respond to certain comments on yesterday's farm life farm life bid. Good to know, Pete. Good to know. Should make it entertaining to watch. Let's see here now. Oh, my subscriptions page. Nothing coming up. Okay. Ah, there is one thing that's coming up. And I'll have to make sure. What? Go fuck yourself, YouTube.
Okay, I'm back.
Awesome.
Let's see what's going on in the comments.
You know, they need to make it possible to leave a comment even while the video is still playing. Or stream is still going. I know I've seen it with some channels, but probably a bigger channel. I don't know what the hell was going on.
I think that might have been a premiere instead of a stream, maybe.
Possible.
I don't know. Could be another rant video today in response to comments from yesterday's one like that. Well,
Yep.
that's the way to do it, Deej. Just keep responding and get into a loop of destiny. I just coined a new term there, Cap. Write it down.
Okay, yeah, written down.
Jolly. It's jolly.
I'm sorry. You hear Mom will pray.
Why would anybody be sorry about that?
I don't know. I just feel like it's probably annoying since you can't see him.
Somebody ought to smack you, bird. Too bad Sister
No,
not there.
nobody needs to smack me.
Yeah, I ought to write Sister Prairie. Please bring Charlie over for a visit. Smack bird.
Let's see. Did they ever release what type of cancer Norm Macdonald had?
I don't know.
Checking now. No. Oh, acute leukemia. Okay.
Ouch.
CU Cancer Center says the disease can still be deadly despite advances in treatment. The comedian and former Saturday Night Live cast member Norm Macdonald died Tuesday after what his brother Neil Macdonald described as a 9-year battle with acute leukemia. Norm, known for his intelligence and sarcastic wit, was 61. Leukemia is a blood cancer that originates in the blood and bone marrow, and it usually occurs when the body creates too many abnormal white blood cells and interferes with the bone marrow's ability to make red blood cells and platelets, though some leukemias start in other kinds of blood cells. Leukemia accounts for about 1/3 of all blood cancer diagnoses and was the 6th most common cause of cancer death in both men and women in the U.S. from 2012 to 2016. It is the most common cancer in children and teens accounting for almost 1/3 of all childhood cancer diagnosis. The main types of acute leukemia, acute myeloid leukemia, AML, which is a disease of mostly older patients that affects about 30,000 people in the US each year, and acute lymphoblastic leukemia, ALL, which is the most common type in children but is relatively rare in adults. We asked CU Center member Dan Palia, clinical director of leukemia services at the hospital at the University of Colorado Springs School of Medicine, to share some insight. Okay. So there are no screening tests. There are no known risk factors. So it's basically just like one day you might turn up to have it. That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, were you there when I think they played it where Norm in his last stand-up special, he had a joke about battling cancer. Nobody knew it was relevant to him, but he's like, he doesn't think that when somebody dies, they should say they lost their battle with cancer, because he's like, if the body dies, the cancer dies too. So at the worst, it's a draw. It was hilarious, and it's true.
Yeah.
So he didn't lose his battle with cancer. It was a draw.
Yeah. I understand why people don't, don't like saying that. Say put up. I don't know.
I mean, I get it, but I thought it was a funny insight.
Oh yes.
Grandma.
Eric says, very informative. Thank you, Bert, for 45.
You're welcome. I was just curious. I assumed other people probably were.
Oh, definitely. I'm sure they are. I found it very interesting. Thank you.
I love you.
Well, let's see here. And good morning, Easton Burkholder. Okay. Eric says, "Did you hear the bad news about Auntie?" No.
What happened? When was this put up? Where? I need to
Yeah.
know. I need to know,
Exactly.
Arabic. God damn it. We need to move up our rescue. Is it on Twitter? I don't know. God damn it. I don't even know I couldn't even find Anti-Trekker on Twitter yesterday. I didn't know if he was salty, and nothing was fucking working. LeVar Burton is no longer interested in hosting Jeopardy. Okay.
Why? Because you couldn't use it as a political platform.
I don't know why. It just says it's one of the things that Twitter's telling me as I frantically search. France recalls ambassador. Good. Yeah. Good for you. Is it possible he just got off Twitter?
No, it's
He
not
was
better for her. Good.
What? 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 When was this? Oh, God damn it. Poor Auntie.
That's really good with milk. Peanut butter.
Good. Like fucking hell, it's better for her. I can't do anything, so I'm going to give you up. And even though you lived here for years, yeah, sorry. I know he originally got her to walk her, but don't they have a damn yard? I'm sorry, a garden that you could go out in?
Mamo Frey says Mrs. Anti-Tracker should give Anti-Tracker back.
Damn right.
He can't walk and play anymore.
Damn right. Take him back to the adoptions or whatever.
Gizmo, no, you were not chewing on those things. No, not my. Oh shit, Cap, you brought me in.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize that. I'm busy looking at Gizmo here, trying to keep him from chewing on stuff. He came in here and all of a sudden he's trying to chew on a shirt. I'm like, no, you cannot eat my shirt. Morning, Cat. Morning, Bird. How are you guys doing?
I was doing better until 5 minutes ago.
What's up?
It turns out Andy Drucker's a selfish bastard.
He's not I understand this is going to be emotional for him. I just think he's making the wrong decision.
I don't watch anything Trekker much. Honestly, not my. He's all right, but
No,
when
it's
I'm on
this
with
that
it.
I have an issue with.
Okay, well, what's the issue? I don't know. Sorry,
Look
guys,
at
I'm
the
out
damn
of the loop.
screen.
So Trigger is going to give her back to the adoption agencies to find her a good home, since he can no longer walk nor play with her, which is better for her. How long's he had the pet?
Bird, you know him better.
At least 2 years.
I had one time I had to give up one of my pets, and it was a cat, and it was my cat Simba, and I love that cat very much. But unfortunately, I was going through divorce. The place I was staying at a friend's house. I couldn't take a cat with me, so I was fortunate. Oh, I was dead set against taking him to the shelter. I actually asked my unit for permission to put out a personal email for adoption, because you have to get permission to put those out. And thankfully, I found a nice airman who had another cat, and they both got along. So I was able to find him a good home. But no, if you're going to find him a good home, you find someone to give the dog. You don't just take the dog back to the shelter.
Auntie is a very old beagle. The only time Auntie needs to walk is to go out and piss and poop. It doesn't need a lot of walking.
No.
Auntie is happy to just lay in one spot and be petted from time to time.
So it's an older dog.
He's got a yard.
Yeah.
Damn yard.
Yes. Ervik Sunder. Yes, he likes clothes. Apparently, Gizmo does like clothes. And my backpack with the plastic on it. And now he runs off. I swear I need to get a Gizmo cam for him to show all the crazy stuff he does in the mornings.
I gotta get coffee.
Go for it. I got some coffee here. Except it's... Bird, how old is Sassy now? I'm curious.
5, 6,
Whew.
maybe. I'm not sure.
I just, my wife just reminded me, I thought our dogs were 7. And she's like, no, they're actually 8. I was like, oh, fuck, they are 8 years old now. So once June, July hits, yeah. Oh, Cap forgot to do his coffee skit before he left. He's going to have to make that up because Saunders going to be unhappy. Morning, Dave.
He forgot. I think he knew we were still talking. So,
how's Mama Pray?
She's okay. She's talking with Sis O'Prey and Nephew O'Prey.
On the phone, or are they over at your guys'
On the
place?
phone. You might hear her say something from time to time.
I'm sorry.
Mom, what are you sorry about? Everybody likes hearing you.
Oh, that's like I said, Bird. You need to have a skit story time with Mama Pray.
Yes, Grandma likes peanut butter.
And the problem is that if we do it too often, it will lose its...
No. Maybe like once a month kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's about what we do. Now she's got her dedicated avatar. Make it more easy to find. As you fast forward the stream.
Oh, man. I went out to our town had a corn festival. They everybody's starting their harvesting up the fields and everything out here. So had a corn festival yesterday. We all went out. My son and my wife and I, we went out there. I'm too old and too fat to be getting on any of those goddamn rides, but my son got his money worth out of that bracelet. Let me tell you. Although I did because anytime I go to a fair, I do have to play a thing of darts against the balloons. That's kind of a thing I've done since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I won my wife a little purple bear.
Some of those games I used to be ridiculously good at. Surprisingly, considering I have no other sports or physical talents. There was one year I was just on fire. There was a local carnival, and I was with my friend and his girlfriend and somebody else's friend, and we went to a table. I'd never seen this game before, but it was a billiard ball with a penny on top, and there was a circle on the on this felt padding, and you had like a pool cue, a small pool cue, but you had to hit the ball out and the penny has to fall inside the circle. So it seemed simple, but I was like, oh, please, I'm guessing for some reason this is probably just impossible, and I was like, why you guys even want to bother with this? And of course the guys, they said, come on, I'll give you a free shot. I'll give you, $5 for $1, whatever. So all the other people went and they all lost. I went first shot, boom, penny right in the center of the circle. I was like, holy shit. I have no idea what I did, mind you. So I was, okay, so they're like, do it again. So I was like, okay, how much? And he's like, okay, $5 for $1 or $4 for $1. So, or $5, whatever the fuck it was. So I bought the place, every single one, perfect center. I don't know what I had, just something. At the end, the guy's like, okay, no more for you. And he didn't stop me. I got the biggest prize you could get, and he cut me off.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, no problem.
I've never seen that game. That's definitely different.
I'd never seen it, and I've never seen it since. So maybe it's not a good game.
When I was a kid, we were at a carnival with my mom and her husband at the time, Jeff, and they love to play those crane games, the ones where you go and you try to get the stuffed animal out and stuff.
Yeah, I love those too.
Yeah, turns out one of them was broken, to where it was free play.
Yeah.
So my stepfather at the time, Jeff, he was just like pretending he was putting money in and just playing and just getting as many of these small ones as he could to go trade him in for the big ones. So he literally, by the time he was done, he had like 30 plush toys. And they were like, how did you get all those? They're like, I'm good at the game. What can I say? And they handed him in having no idea that he had just played that game for like 2 hours for free.
And in the end, it was probably a $10 thing anyway. So it's not like anybody really lost anybody.
Nah, I mean, you figure it. We gave him. I mean, technically, he played for free, but he gave back all the toys for like 2 big toys. So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. That made my mom's day and my day, so that was, kind of I think what he was going for. Oh, by the way, Cap, you need to make up here for Sunder. He wants your Janeway coffee commercial,
I
which
know, but
actually is
y'all were
good.
talking.
I know, but
I don't mind interrupting you, though, NB.
oh, I know that, but you don't want to interrupt Bird because we like.
Correct.
All right.
Listen to me very carefully because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
Coffee. Black. While I've got your attention, there are...
Coffee first. Well, this mentor would like another cup of coffee. I'm just gonna have to give up coffee. Want some coffee?
If I'm not mistaken, that's your 3rd cup this morning.
4th, and on a day like today, it won't be my last. Coffee. The finest organic suspension ever devised. Commander, set a new course. There's coffee in that nebula.
There we go.
Damn, thought I was going to make it back before it was done. Oh well, at least I got my coffee. Oh. Yeah, my son wants to go back up to the carnival today. Although he said something that was it was kind of funny. He's like, I'm old enough I can go here. You guys can just, you guys don't have to stay. I was like, oh, thank God. He's finally getting to that point.
How old is he?
He's 14 now.
Fuck that. You're still too young. Till he's old enough he can drive himself there. Too young.
Nah, I disagree. I can drop him off there.
I still don't trust people.
Oh, I don't trust people either. I trust my son. But the festival's over by the police station, the schoolhouse, and everything. It's literally right in the center of downtown. But yeah, he got on the Cyclone. He said he got on the Cyclone thing like 8 times. I was like, how the hell are you not sick?
He's used to dealing with you, so he's used to sickening things. Don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time. We were there. Ironically, it's called a corn festival. There was no corn.
False advertising.
Yeah, I was like, maybe they should have called it a harvest festival. I mean, that would have made more sense due to the fact that it is harvesting time now, and a lot of the farmers around here are starting their harvesting of their crops. That would have made more sense. I was actually thinking there would be. I mean, call me crazy. I thought, at a corn festival there'd be
Corn?
Fresh corn or something. Yeah.
You'd have corn booths, and you'd have, corn on the cob available for purchase. And, yeah. Corn festival kind of should be about corn.
Yeah, I know. You would have thought that's what that's what I honestly thought. My wife and I did, and it was like literally. Although I will say this, I did have dinner there, and I'll tell you what, man, that was some damn good kebab on a grill there.
That'd be like going to the hub and finding, G-rated movies.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm not coming in here to watch Shrek.
Yeah, kind of threw us for a loop on that one. But whatever. Well, hell, when I went to that Amish festival, I was surprised there weren't more Amish stuff up. That actually threw me. I was like, wait a minute, I thought this was an Amish festival. So I mean, it turned out it was mostly non-Amish selling stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still had a good time with my daughter, but that's when I found out my daughter could throw a hatchet like a motherfucker.
Yes, watch out.
Yeah. That's
Fingers crossed.
literally one of my favorite videos. That right there was like made the whole day. Just getting to watch her do that and do so well with it.
Yeah, but sorry, I need to take my blood pressure and wait. So I'll
No
be back in
problem.
like 5 minutes.
Okay, Bird. Good morning, Dee Dee Myers.
Good morning, Dee Dee Myers. What's going on today?
you got to look at what Basco Scenario said. Cap, I jump back on and all I hear is porn festival.
Corn festival. Corn. I said corn.
Yeah, we were talking about corn, not porn.
I then said that would be like going to the hub and only finding G-rated movies.
And I knew exactly what you were talking about. Hey, Professor, how you doing, buddy? Oh. Hey, Cap, what happened to all the trolls, man? Did they just get tired and go home?
Yep.
Oh. Oh, man. Oh, fuck, I just realized something. I was supposed to do my Sunday stream with Jack tomorrow, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna be at my daughter's.
What's the stream about?
Well, his girlfriend and him, she came on because she was in the chat and had a lot to say. History of film.
Cool.
We did a first one. Yeah, Jack, I don't know if you know this about Jack, but he went to school as a filmmaker and stuff. So he has a lot of knowledge on that. So we were going through and we were at about an hour and we had I don't even think we got to silent films yet. I mean, just everything they were saying. I was really blown away by the amount of knowledge they had. I'd gone to like a history of movies and I was kind of going through just reading it. And there was a lot of information that, Jack had very much knowledge of these people that were part of this. So I was like, and his girlfriend, she was in the chat talking and bringing up a bunch of guys. I said, if she wants, she's welcome to come on. And I said, yeah. So for the most part, I ended up just kind of asking questions here and there, and they pretty much were running the information, and I was just having an absolute blast with it. Well, if I'm going to my daughter's tomorrow, maybe I can borrow her computer for that.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, I'll just take my microphone. Yeah, I really do want to do that. I really want to do that one tomorrow. Just mainly because I had so much fun, and I'm really looking forward to getting into more of it. I thought, there's something, I think, Cap, we've talked about this a few times where, there's so many damn people now. All they do is, literally TV is now, I mean, if you think about it, it's clickbait in a way where it's, the whole point is, hey, look up off your fucking phone and watch what's going on the TV because this just happened. And,
Kind of boring, actually.
Yeah, but then you go into older films and the history of it. I love that kind of thing, the technology, the history, the evolution of things like that. And you have, PCAT, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed that stream. one of the things is, the evolution where, you'll have people that are like, oh, that looks dated. Oh, that looks old. Oh, that looks cheesy. It's like, that was groundbreaking back then. And if it wasn't for them trying this, you wouldn't have the fucking CGI shit you have now. I mean, we had to go from the silent films to the talkie era. Stop motion animation was think about what it took think about the care and effort it took into doing stop motion animation, Cap. I mean,
they don't care. They don't know. They don't care. That's the point. They're too selfish, too self-centered. Sorry.
Well, take the original King Kong. Think about all the stop motion animation that had to go into him.
Oh, a ton.
Yeah. And I mean, how many hours, some maybe even days
Months.
Just to get those movements to look as seamless as they could. I mean, those people had to put a lot of time and effort. I mean, the amount of work that went into that, the amount of care that went into that. I mean, it's something I think should be, I respect.
Recognized. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and you've got today's entertain me now generation who it's like, yeah, I don't have 5 minutes to wait through a commercial, so and I don't even have 30 seconds to wait through one commercial, so we have to run through the total breakdown of a film in 5 seconds so that these idiots who are ADHD or apparently raised that way get the synopsis of a film in 5 seconds. Don't think so.
Yeah, PCAT, I would agree. The effects of the original King Kong, groundbreaking. Yeah, it is my favorite Kong movie. I will have to say the original is my favorite.
I mean, yes, the effects were cheesy. So what? Look at when it was made. Look at how much work and care went into making it. So what? It was cheesy. It was still entertaining.
And like we said, at the time, those effects, that stop motion animation stuff, that was groundbreaking. I mean, it was, well, think about this. Remember, think about how much time went into Gumby, for God's sakes. I mean, that was stop motion animation.
Yeah.
That was one of the most entertaining shows kids had at the time. Gumby, Pokey, Prickle, Goo. God, I haven't thought about Gumby in forever. I used to have a Gumby toy.
I remember Pokey, but that's about it.
Pokey was the one who always wanted a carrot, right? He was a donkey, wasn't he?
Somebody's a horse, but whatever.
He might have been a horse or donkey. I don't remember which.
And yes, PCAT filmmakers today appeal to people with ADD through prefer flashy and over substance. New Truck movies are a good example. No substance but flashy effects and lens flares. I hate lens flares. Despise them. Can't stand lens flares. It's the whole purpose of lens flares is to show something where there's nothing. And of course, Michael T hops in the chat at that point.
Really?
Yeah. Those hobbyists became pros.
Well, that would make sense.
And good morning, live at the Love Shack.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Brazil Simpa Palma.
What?
Don't know.
I have no idea
I
what
was having
NB
fun. I
keeps
was having
talking
fun with
about.
Love Shack on Twitter the other day.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of fun. But well, at least on my end, because apparently you don't want to mess with Lincoln first term.
Oh, I told you that to go into that kind of an alternate history aspect, I'd have to really deep dive all the way back to the 1820s.
I don't think so. We can mess a lot with preventing the Civil War and make those boneheads don't go to war against the Union. It's not that hard. Come on, you just go down
Actually,
there
if
and
you
say,
wanted to
okay,
go, if you wanted to go into a what if for that, it would have to be that the Confederacy did not attack Fort Sumter, because that's really what was the beginning of the shots fired during the Civil War. Was South Carolina the taking of Fort Sumter?
we can go even earlier than that. We can just go to them and said, okay, guys, don't declare secession. Don't be stupid. You're not gonna win. Come on. Demand 4 years.
Love Shack, I teach history and I spent a lot of time on the Civil War last year. Trust me, it's not just a one what if thing. There's many things that would have to be different to prevent the Civil War from happening. Because when I went through
slavery would be one.
Yeah. One of the things was I said that it was about 1820. That's when the Missouri Compromise was made, which, by the way, was the first time the Supreme Court actually struck down a federal law. Was the Missouri Compromise about 20 years later, declaring it unconstitutional. And that was the first time the Supreme Court ever struck down a legislative law.
Yeah. Where they gonna? Where they were when Andrew Jackson sent all those tribes to Oklahoma? Come on.
Talking about. Okay, remember what I said. Andrew Johnson was the vice president when Lincoln was assassinated, not Andrew Jackson.
No. I mean, you talk about the Supreme Court. Where was the Supreme Court when Andrew Jackson made the Trail of Tears and said, "Okay, you are now removed from Georgia, from wherever you were, and we are sending you to Oklahoma."
I agree. That was definitely a point of, yeah. I think
at the time, there would have been no organizations like we have now that would have filed a lawsuit against this through the courts. And yes, I would imagine
I think they already had a Supreme Court by the time of Andrew Jackson, and I think the Supreme Court tried something to stop Andrew Jackson, but they did it anyway.
There was a time, and I don't remember, I think it was under FDR. I could be wrong. But there was a time when the Supreme Court struck down something and the president basically said, okay, now try to enforce it. I can't remember exactly. I can't remember exactly which president that was. I'd have to look.
I think the thing with FDR was FDR tried to pack the Supreme Court with more judges, but the Supreme Court,
yes, at the time,
I think the Congress should say, no, you're not going to do that. You are not going to do that.
Well, actually, part of that was he wanted to pack the courts to be a more favorable thing from him, and his own party was against that. because even they could see the right, at least back then, the Democrats could see the writing on the wall that if you pull something like this when you're out of power, the next people will just come in and do the same thing and say, hey, turnabout's fair play.
Yeah. As a physical shield heavily by regions forward divine right to conquer all
Divine
that.
right. Yeah, fuck that.
Well, think like that. Do you think
Yeah, I'm
Mexico
actually-
would do better with the West? Do you think the British and the Mexicans would do better with all that land at West? No, I think Mexico would be split like Yugoslavia. California
Manifest
would break
Destiny is
away,
actually-
Texas break away, and Mexico would lost that land anyway.
Michael T, Manifest Destiny and Westward Expansion are topics I am discussing. I actually found a really good video because I was trying to find something on what happened with California during the Civil War and Reconstruction. And I was able to actually find a good history video on California during that time. So I was pretty happy about that one.
In a big geek, let's make another interesting what if. If there was no Civil War, and most importantly, if there was no American-Mexican War, Texas was not annexed by the Union, what would happen with California and the West and Oregon, and the British Columbia and all that territory?
Well, okay, Texas,
Texas
you
don't get annexed. If you don't annex Texas, if you don't annex Texas,
Texas didn't get annexed. Texas
It
fought
did.
for. Well, what happened was
no,
you had
they fought
coming in-
first. They fought first, got independence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can I finish? Can I? Do you
Go ahead,
mind
go
if I
ahead,
talk
go ahead.
about my own American history?
Go ahead.
Yes, people went into Texas, and yes, people were starting to move into Texas, and Texas did fight for independence. Texas did gain its independence, but the Mexican government didn't recognize it, and for a time, the United States, the Texas, once it declared its independence and basically won its war, applied to be a state, but that was rejected for the purpose of, they thought that if we accept Texas, that we're going to have a war with Mexico, which when we did accept Texas years later into the Union, we did have the Mexican-American War. And then we went down and conquered half of fucking Mexico and then gave it back to them. Dude, we were all the way down in Mexico. Dude, when we fought the Mexican-American War with Texas stuff, we were all the way down in their capital city for fuck. Got all the way down to almost Mexico City.
Yeah, my question is, what happens if Texas don't join the Union?
Then
What
Texas
if
would have been
the American-Mexican War? What if the American-Mexican War never happened? And by extension, what if the war never happened? What happened to all that land?
It's a lot of, like I said,
Mexico would have continued to retain ownership of it. Why?
And it's pretty much Texas would have been its own independent nation, not recognized by the government of Mexico at the time. But obviously the United States recognized them as an independent nation. Now, what would have happened if Texas had stayed that? I think eventually they would have probably joined the Union, or they would have stayed their own independent nation. But how would it have affected California? So it would have affected some of the other states we have, because Texas was a lot bigger than, well, there was disputed areas of what was considered part of Texas and what wasn't. And you know, our government has a wonderful way of solving problems. Just throw money at it. So they said, "Hey, here's $10 million for these pieces of land. This should cover the financial debt from your war with Mexico."
Although I must say, Love Shack, that's an interesting notion. Thank you.
It would be. There's always different kinds of possibility. I mean, yeah, Resolute Germ. Yeah, FDR did a lot. Yeah, not a lot of it good. Unfortunately, some of it not good.
I doubt there's any president you could say that everything they did was good.
Well, this is kind of one of the things I don't understand with certain people is they look at FDR and I'm kind of like, you do remember he signed an executive order putting Americans in camps.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of my point.
Taiwan is Asia's Texas. Yeah, okay, I can see that correlation definitely, because China does not recognize the Republic of China, and we do. Whereas, like, I have to remind people, they're like, "Why don't you care about, you know?" Every time somebody wants to bring up Palestine, I like the United States does not recognize the country of Palestine. We recognize the PLO as the representatives of the Palestine people, but not the state of Palestine.
Yes, there's the Palestinian people and the state of Palestine. They are two separate things. One is not the other.
Exactly. And why on God's green earth would, you know, and then when I've gone into the history of, I've gone into it with people in the history of Israel and Palestine. I'm like, yeah, dude, I have no sympathy for the state of Palestine, because they've had more than enough opportunities to make a peace with this, and they keep trying to put this two-state solution. I'm like, you're all not getting it. The Israelis get it. These people don't want a two-state solution. Period.
Why would they?
No, exactly. Why would they? They don't want a two-state solution. They want Israel gone. The United States does recognize the country of Israel. And actually, thanks to the last administration, both the UAE and the Kingdom of Bahrain have now got diplomatic relations with Israel, which was something that people like me who've been in the military, I was talking to several of us. I was like, did you ever think we'd see this? And they were like, not in our lifetime.
No.
I mean, the United Arab Emirates and the Kingdom of Bahrain, full diplomatic relations with the state of Israel in the Middle East was something that literally, I mean, just was something most of us never thought would happen. We just didn't see how that was possible. And then the last administration managed to do it.
Well, there was land that was for the, and I'm not talking the biblical version, but there was land that was set aside for Israel at one point, and other countries decided, oh, wait a minute, no, that's a bad idea, and started to take some back. So yeah, they had land that was theirs, and yeah, sorry, Israel has every right to exist. Palestine has every right to exist, but they are trying to do so in a way to eliminate Israel, and that isn't going to happen.
And no,
I know several people who are of Jewish descent.
I have family that are Jewish. My sister-in-law and her husband, and I'm going to go on a limb and assume that. Oh no, wait, never mind. I was thinking somebody else, but no, I do have family. Yeah, my wife's family has Jewish ancestry in the Russian Lithuania area, and I do have sister-in-law and stuff that are they're practicing Jews. It's a really weird way to say that, practicing Jews, but they are. I mean, they're very into they are very deep into their religion. They're what you call Messianic Jews.
I'm talking pre-Truman era, by the way. But thank you for bringing that up. I'll have to actually look up stuff to support my. I have no references, so yeah. I'm not going to make claims based on thoughts, beliefs, whatever. So,
What?
and yes, there are more than one side to a story.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Well, you have I mean, going through the history of Israel, I mean, yeah, you'd have to go back into the 20s, 30s era, and then also the 6 Day War.
Yep.
Yes, you can live in Israel and not be Jewish, of course.
Of course.
There are Christians and there are Muslims there.
Mm-hmm. I didn't say that the Jewish people I knew were necessarily in Israel or Jewish descent. There are others who are. I know a couple who are in Israel. So, and I mean a couple. They're married. She's actually nicer than he is, but you know.
Actually, Jewish is both a religion and an ethnicity.
Ethnicity, yes.
You can be ethnically Jewish and not be a Jew religion.
Mm-hmm.
You can be of Jewish descent and not practice Judaism.
Correct. Judaism is a religion. Jewish is not. There's a distinct difference.
Kind of like when we have to remind people that not everybody who is of Arab descent is Muslim.
Correct.
Arab
and Latino covers many countries. Or Latina, but not whatever.
Don't use that other term. Please don't.
I'm not using that other term. But being of Latin descent.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say. Being of Latin descent, there are many countries that are Latin. So yeah.
Oh, Latin descent. You know, when you hear the term Latino and you really think about it, it is such a gambit of so many countries and people. And the thing is, I don't hear most Latinos ever refer to themselves. I mean, yeah, they may say Latino in general, but usually they tend to mostly refer to the country of origin. And I know full well I've seen idiots make a mistake with like a buddy of mine who was Puerto Rican. And they were like, what part of Mexico did you come? He goes, I'm Puerto Rican. And then they said, what's the difference? And I saw the look. I was like, oh, shit, you went there.
And yes, resolute term, the ethnic part has been mostly brought out over the past 2,000 years. You're correct.
Hispanos. That's the term I prefer. It's a good term. I never understood why whites are referred to as Caucasian.
I don't know. Particularly since caulk is white.
Yeah. Well, here's
Sorry.
the one that always cracked me up, Cap. If you ever look on those sheets and they they have your race and it'll say white non-Hispanic. I'm like, what? What if you're half white and half Hispanic?
Then check
You
both
know,
boxes.
I guess so because I had a stepbrother and sister. Their mother was when my dad was married to her. She was 100% Mexican Indian. Don't ask me what tribe. I don't remember. And her two kids were from a white man. So they were both they were half Mexican Indian, half white. So it's kind of like, what fucking box are they supposed to do?
And Latino is any Latin language, which there are several. Yes, thank you. I get tired of the check boxes. I don't care if somebody is whatever.
Vasco, I've done that same exact fucking thing. I put in the other box and I wrote human. That's my race. I've done that before.
Crap. I plugged out. Gotta get my computer plugged back in quickly.
No, I thought it was funny when Resolute Germ. No, what's even funnier was when I went to the VA for the first time and I was filling out the boxes, and you had this gentleman. This was his first time in, and he's a Vietnam era vet, and he's looking at the boxes, and he's like, okay, sex, male, preferred gender. He's like, what the fuck is this preferred gender thing? And he goes, oh, that, and I explained, I said, that means if you were born a guy, but you think you're a girl now or something like that. And he goes, I was born with a cock. I'm dying with a cock. I'm a guy. My wife and I just started laughing our asses off. I was like, yep. What are you saying, Resolute? That we can't trust the government to properly distribute data? Say it ain't so.
Yeah, I'll state it outright. Just like when we were talking about Uber not wanting to collect user information the other day.
Oh shit, man! I actually, Cap, this was an interesting one. We've talked about the mask stuff and things like that. I didn't even think about this, and I saw this video of this lady. She was, very upset because she was getting harassed by the people at the store she was trying to buy something from, and the thing was deaf. The woman was deaf, so obviously she can't hear, and she has to be, and she's trying to explain to them, I'm deaf, but they didn't believe her. And if you listen to the way she talks, she actually talks very well for being a deaf person. So it was like they didn't believe her that she was deaf. It's like, why would somebody make that shit up? She's asking you to pull the fucking mask down so she can read your lips. And I didn't even think about that. for people who have hearing issues and stuff, how bad that can be for them to try and hear somebody through a mask. Or if you're deaf and you can't, you have to read lips. Fucking crazy, man. People have just gotten so mean and so fearful of people. I never thought I'd see this in America. Everybody being so fucking scared.
It's because they are believing things that aren't, well, are propaganda more than truth.
Michael T, have you seen that before? Really? I've seen Stolen Valor before, but I never would have seen anyone pretend they were deaf for attention. But maybe it's true.
I'm not going to doubt there are some people who would do that, but it does seem that there unfortunately needs to be some consideration given, because people aren't necessarily going to be able to prove either way.
Prove your Debbie. What are we going to do? Have these people walk around with a deaf card now? Deaf. I said deaf, not death, people. So like I said, we're getting to show me your papers, or hey, I see people posting shit like, we need to put something on these people who are unvaxxed. I was like, oh gee, how about a star?
Yeah, what a perfect idea.
That's the problem, man. I spend so much time doing history that, when I start seeing comparisons, it scares the fuck out of me. Actually, I had one person who didn't even have. Yeah, Michael T, I don't, trust me, I'm not giving them any ideas. I'm trying to tell people exactly, what their ideas are equated to. You can throw the word, you can throw the word out from that certain government in the 1930s, but it's one thing to just call somebody that. It's another thing to say, do you realize what you're saying equates to this from that era?
And that for that you're judgmental and whatever, even though you're stating fact.
Well, there's a reason why they say if you don't learn your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And you see some of these people doing that. Oh, what? Man, they are really, I've noticed cancel culture is really like, I don't know who Nicki Minaj is. I know she's a singer. That's all I know about her. She's a singer.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I saw somebody, they were like, this is embarrassing, because she was saying, hey, I've been to China. I've seen what, these people were told I couldn't do while I was in China. And she's like, I'm seeing this in America now, or something to that effect. And somebody wrote, this is embarrassing. I'm like, what? Asking questions and having an independent thought is embarrassing?
Yep.
She's saying she wants to do research and doesn't want to use her platform to force people to get you. I mean, that's the thing. They're like, you have a platform. You should be using it for what we want you to do.
No.
No, but that's what they think. They're saying basically, it's like, no, you're not putting out the message we want put out. You have 22 million people on Twitter. You need to be putting out the proper message. I mean, that's basically what they're telling her to do. And I'm like, why? I'm like, I don't even know who this person is worth a damn. And I'm like, this is bad. This is not what we should be doing. And I'm sure it also has to do with the fact that she's, I guess she's a black rapper. I could be wrong. Okay. And she's saying she wants to do, and they're pouncing on her. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I was like, but it comes down to when you see the people in these mobs, when you have that mob mentality. I mean, skip calling it the left or right. This is a mob mentality.
Yep. That's why I wish people would get away from calling it left and right, because it's not. We have the normal left and right, and then we have these people that are
the extremes.
The extremes, they're scary.
Resolute Germ says I had an idiot try and justify that by saying unvaxxed are actually dangerous. Yeah, I've heard that one too. There are people out there right now in America who want us to do what Australia's doing. Rounding people up and putting that, they want unvaxxed people to be rounded up for the betterment of society, for the good of the community, for the children, all those buzzwords they keep saying, and they're like, you're being selfish. Why are you risking other people's lives? And they're like, I'm an individual. I make my own choices. Well, you're being selfish. Okay, and what are you being? You're trying to get me to conform to something I don't want to do just because it'll make you feel better. How's that not selfish?
I won't actually do anything, but hey, it'll make you feel better because they're, I don't know.
Resolute, when I asked why they thought that, all they could say was it was on the news. Well, that was their first mistake right there. Actually, Bill Maher said it fucking,
people incapable of independent thought is the problem.
Well, Bill Maher said, he even called it out. He said the left-wing media, the liberal media, he said, scared the fuck out of everyone, and they need to take some blame for it. And I was like, well, he may be a liberal, but, every now and again he says something that makes sense.
Liberal or not, that statement is correct.
It is. Instead of a star, it'll be a V with a red circle and a line through it.
Yep.
Oh, like a scarlet letter.
Yep.
Kind of like in the Scarlet Letter, where she had to wear the A around her neck. If anybody remembers that book. For those of you who don't know this, for anybody who doesn't know, the Scarlet Letter is about a woman who ends up having an extramarital affair, and as punishment, she has to walk around with a hanging around her neck. I think it was a red A for adultery, and she had to wear it everywhere. That was her punishment, was she had to wear that everywhere, so everyone could know what she did. Basically, public shaming. I mean, for lack of a better term.
Better term? It's the only term.
And that's what they're trying to do now with people. They're trying to, well, it's like, you had Biden even say, he's like, we've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin. I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah, you're right. Our patience is wearing thin.
Yeah, my patience with our current administration is wearing thin.
My problem is it's on both sides of the aisle.
I agree. Absolutely. You know me. I will call out conservatives and Republicans just as much as I will liberals and Democrats. and I hit harder on conservatives. I actually went on one where one of the most influential conservative black women posted something, and I had seen the full video, and she just had this one little 15-second clip that had been going around. I was like, okay, this is what we bitch about the left doing. I'm like, why are you doing what they do? I'm like, we're supposed to be better than this. And I called her out. I called a lot of people called her out on it too.
They probably should have been done.
Yeah, because it was like a 15-second clip. It had to do with an Army staff sergeant. And it was a 15-second clip where she was talking about what would happen. And it was basically like saying she was promoting martial law. When no, if you watch the entire fucking clip, she's basically listening to this woman rant about where is the military and why aren't they doing something. And she basically goes into what would happen if martial law happens, which is, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If I tell you to get in the fucking house, you better get in the fucking house. You don't want the military walking our streets of America. You don't want them.
This coming from a military man, by the way.
No, you don't. We're not. The military is not a peacekeeping force. We're not law enforcement. Yes, we have military law enforcement, but that's a very different type of law enforcement. They have completely different sets of rules. Like, for example, if you're an enlisted person and you can't, and if some of the rules was, if you're an enlisted person, you can't arrest an officer. You actually have to get an officer out there to arrest the other officer. And you don't want us walking around in our freaking boots, in our freaking flak gear with our M4s and banana clips that some states really hate. And us walking around in ATVs and stuff and in our Humvees. You don't want that.
Nope. But apparently some people seem to want, I don't know what the hell they want anymore. I don't even think they know what they want at this point.
That's one thing our Constitution got very well was the fact that one of the things we have is we're not using the military. I mean, yeah, early on when we had territories and stuff, yeah, we used our military in ways we shouldn't have. But we don't do that now. We don't drop the military in on Houston, Texas, or Sacramento, California, or something like that. National Guard, sure, but they have a completely different mission. Resolute Germ, I believe there is a provision for that. I believe it's called the War Powers Act.
Let me get back to the chat. Let's see what I'm missing. And yes, it's not illegal. How it's enforced would determine the legality. But martial law is not illegal. They do it a lot of times in periods of natural disaster where they have to close down certain areas because of looting. Nobody out after such and such time, and it's only done for a short period of time, so it doesn't bother people because it's a temporary thing. Time is coming, however, it's not going to be so temporary. Time for a sequel to Killdozer. You know what, Michael T? Let's get that done. Let's get that done.
Well, think about this, Cap. They won't probably use that term martial law. What they would do is to be able to get into the martial law is when they declare a state of emergency.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, it's still martial law, whether you call it by that name or not.
No, but but that's the term they would probably. I mean, that's the term they would use, state of emergency, because they're not going to actually say we're declaring martial law. They'll say we got a state of emergency. We have curfews in effect from this time to this time. Yada yada yada. Here are the limitations. Yeah.
Yep.
State of emergency, form of martial law.
And you're going to have, there are people that watch the Star Wars prequels and said, "Oh, that could never happen."
It was said best. What kind of government did you give us? A republic, if you can keep it.
Well, and it went down in thunderous applause. And there are going to be people that are applauding this till they realize what they've lost.
Well, if you think about it, that actually is a very interesting analogy in that movie where she goes, where Padme says, "So this is how liberty dies," with thunderous applause. I'm pretty sure we can think of a few governments that happened to. I mean, the
And a
U.S.
few it will happen to if it's allowed.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about more than the U.S.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I have people I know from Australia. From what I understand, most Australians are, nice way to put it, sheeple.
Speaking of which, you talked to our Aussie New Zealand friends lately?
Did a little bit last night. Talked to somebody from Australia. Haven't talked to our Kiwi friend in a short time, but apparently things have been going on, so it's understandable.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on. I've seen New Zealand pop up a few times in the news and Australia. And can't say I'm overly happy with what I'm seeing.
No. No. You've got people who are, they have every right to be as stupid as they want to be. But they want government control. And I'm going, that's a stupid ass idea. You don't want the government running everything. They should be a support system, not dictatorial powers.
Well, you know me, I'm always trying to explain to people. I'm like, why are you so concerned with what the federal government is doing? Well, the federal government needs to get this done in my state. It's like, you have a governor, you have a city council, you have a state Senate and a state House of Representatives, or the equivalent to those things in your state. But you're waiting on DC to do something? Are you a fucking idiot?
To be honest, yes, they are.
DC is one place. We are 50 states, plus we have territories. you want to make changes, you want to make a difference, you focus more on your state and local government, because those are the people you can access a lot better than you can your representative or your senator in DC.
Oh, and there are idiots that want to make DC the 51st state, by the way.
Well, you know why they want to do that. The same reason they want to make Puerto Rico a state too.
I'd rather see Puerto Rico a state.
Yeah, I'm
I
with
think that should have been
Resolution
done a long
here.
ass time ago. As long as they want to be a state.
I
There
think
have been territories that turned down the decision. And yes, oh, by the way, I don't know about you, but I haven't heard about any flu deaths in at least a year.
oh, they were probably all COVID.
In fact, the last I heard about was the end of 2018. So apparently, after 2018, nobody's died of the flu.
Yeah, it amazes me how back 2 years ago the media was like, "Oh, it's not that bad. It's get your flu shot. It's going to be like the flu." Okay, and then it all of a sudden became, "Oh, it's the fucking Black Plague." Which, when people always bring up the Black Plague, I'm like, "Okay, dumbass." The Black Plague happened, and one of the reasons why it was so virulent is because, one, we had no immunization stuff back then. We had very poor science, and we had very poor medical science, or primitive medical science, and also hygiene and sanitation was a big factor.
Yep. You also have to consider that in order for, because I did the numbers before, in order for the numbers to match, because what they're trying to compare it to the Black Plague, almost 3 billion people would have to die. Numbers so far haven't even been 1 billion. So, and that's been in, let's see here, 3 years. So, if it was as very virulent and dangerous as they said, we should have been past the 1 billion mark by now. Well past. Well past. We should be on the way to 2 billion. And you can't say it's because China's not reporting, because it may not be, but it still isn't anywhere near 2 billion. And it would have to be closer to 3. If not more. Because that was based on 2019 numbers. I'm sorry. Not 2021.
Well, I thought it was interesting that China actually is now allowing their citizens to have up to 3 children now.
Ha 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 ha. No, the population will not get it.
They may be in for surprise if they make Puerto Rico state a lot of conservative religious types down there. I like that. The funny thing is, I like people who are conservatives. I like people who are liberals, classic liberals, not the modern, god-awful, communistic, so-called liberals.
The JFK, Martin Luther King,
yes,
Robert
yes,
Kennedy type of liberal.
Exactly. That type of liberal.
You'd be hard-pressed to find those now. JFK would never have been able to win a Democrat ticket on his platform back then if he was running now.
Well, the world is full of surprises. If Robert Kennedy Jr. was alive, maybe he could get maybe he could do it.
Honestly, on name recognition, maybe, but
come on, the dude had the good looks. At least that.
Yeah, but Yeah, but you're talking about you gotta remember we're talking about the 1960s versus 2020. JFK stole the election. Okay, I don't know about that.
Mm. No, that's nonsense.
I'm sorry, but look, man, I'm not one of these people who's going to say the election was stolen. Was there fraud
Look,
somewhere in areas? Maybe,
Okay, well, let's
possibly.
put it this way. We're not
excuse me,
we're not
excuse me.
discussing the results of the presidential election. We're just talking
Ex-
about the possibility that other elections can be
Just,
influenced unduly, and that should not be allowed. Go ahead,
gentlemen,
Love
just an interesting fact. The election of JFK was, damn it, I forgot the name they give for that, but the election of JFK was certified by Vice President Richard Nixon. It was a fair election. Okay, just that. Richard Nixon certified the JFK election. The election was not stolen.
Yep, let's trust Tricky Dicky. I mean,
No,
That's another interesting what if scenario. What if Richard Nixon? What if Richard Nixon did not renounce the presidency and fight to the end, and maybe he was not impeached?
He wasn't impeached.
No, he renounced before
No,
that.
He resigned.
He resigned.
Yes.
He resigned before the impeachment process go to the end. But if he had fight to the end, and if he had win, if he had not get impeached, what kind of world we would get after that?
Not a clue.
Yeah, because you remove Gerald Ford completely from the picture, and if he was crazy enough, come on, people, get with me. If he was crazy enough to go and try for a third term,
he wouldn't have been able to.
I know he would be able to, but
the Constitution had already been amended.
Yeah. They have that, but if they give, come on, bear with me. If he make a tremendous, astronomical, phenomenal, fantastical second term, and he got the midterm votes, and he packed the House, he packed the Senate, and he got an exemption to run for a third and fourth term, we got Watchmen.
Oh, I know what movie you're talking about. Yeah,
yep.
Now I know what you're talking about. Okay. But yeah, the whole thing was you can't run past that because after FDR died, they passed the constitutional amendment limiting. Now, why the hell they didn't do that for the senators in the House of Representatives in that bill, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a shame. Shame.
Because they wanted it passed. That's why.
Yeah, I can believe it.
No. Damn it, democracy.
We're not a democracy, we're a republic.
Actually, no, we're a democratic republic, supposedly.
I go with
you know what?
Republic, but Democrat Republic can work too, but I prefer constitutional republic myself.
You know what? Well, down here is almost the same thing, but we are not that far from a constitutional monarchy. We just don't know who's the king.
I'll just pick one.
Okay, I proclaim Captain Trek as King of Americas. All three of them. North, Central, and South.
There's only two, but okay.
I had a
And technically, according to some people, there's only one. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Ha ha ha! I got him off his own argument. Ha 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 ha!
No, you're not.
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes.
No. There are subdivisions. Come on. There's only one America, but for the sake of organization, we divide them in 3, not 2. There's subdivisions, north, center, and south. Okay? And if you add Greenland, we may have, Northeast America? Maybe?
Why would Greenland be part of America?
It's closer to Canada than it's closer to Europe.
Give it to Canada.
What?
I said give it to Canada. Who cares?
Because America already have Alaska, so it would be better if you give Greenland to America. Come on, 51 state right there.
I don't think Greenland would want to be the 51st state.
Okay, maybe make it a 55 state.
Yes, Greenland. Let's see here. Never mind. No.
No. Go ahead, please. Please indulge us. Entertain your audience, please. Go ahead with that thought. You were saying.
God damn it! I'm agreeing with LDG. God help me.
Okay, folks, all together now. LDG, LDG, LDG. LDG, LDG, and preferably say that in front of a mirror.
I'd rather say Candyman.
Okay, I have a mirror in my hand. LDG, LDG, LDG.
LDG,
there.
LDG, LDG. There you go.
I had a mirror. I was looking at it. I said it. And greetings, 47 Yorktown. Good morning, LDG. Good morning, Super Blubberpuss.
47 Yorktown. How's life in the Great White North?
And it is about 35 minutes until Resolute Germ goes live with Saturday morning cartoons, just to let everybody know.
What's the cartoon today?
Yeah.
And today, thank you, just getting to that, is Darkwing Duck episode 28, Clone Wars season 4 episode 6, Conan
and
season 2 episode 13, and Transformers season 2 episode 12. You can catch Darkwing and Clone Wars on Disney Plus, and you can catch Conan and Transformers on tubi.tv.com or tubitv.com. See here, I've got somebody in the backstage. I heard the little ding, and LDG is on his laptop. And
what happened to your camera?
He's outside or whatever in the kitchen.
Oh my God, dude!
Right.
That's an awesome beard.
There you go.
Jesus Christ! So much hair.
Oh. What's going on? Sorry, I'm making breakfast.
No problem.
Hey, Pickles, what's up, buddy?
What up, dude?
What are you making today?
Egg and ham sandwich.
Ah, see, I knew it was egg, but I just didn't know what you were having with it.
How are you doing?
You look
All
20
right.
years young. You look
Yeah.
20 years younger.
Slept pretty well. I actually remember my dream. That's good news.
Go ahead. Don't be
Oh,
shy.
you don't want to know.
We might watch that dream on a movie someday on theaters.
Yeah.
I don't
So-
think you want to see. I don't think what you want to see what the LDG and Yvette do in private. Sorry.
Hey,
No.
LDJ, before you know it, man, you're going to have a beard this long.
I'd like to grow it out, but it gets all freaking natty and shit. So
That's why I trim the sides up. Keep the sides trimmed up and then just let the bottom grow.
Wrap a towel over your head and nobody will ever ask if you are going to wear a mask or not.
Yes, I know, Love Shack. You've told me that one already. We've talked about that. I said I thought it could work. It could probably work for pickles too.
Yeah.
Breakfast time.
butter jelly time.
No pepper today.
Huh?
No pepper, today.
Today.
No.
No.
And 47 Yorktown said 2 days to Canadian Election Day.
Oh, thanks God they will get finally read from Trudeau.
No, they won't.
I hope so.
I didn't say I hope they would or wouldn't. They won't. People are going to be, they're going to vote the way they vote, and it's going to be voting. Yeah.
I'm not sure how Canada vote. Now, is this for their prime minister vote?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, why don't we ask the Canadian who's in house?
Is this for your prime minister?
And if JP's was still here, I'd ask him as well.
Well, some countries I know, they vote for their prime minister, and then, like in England, for example, the prime minister is chosen by the party that has the most seats in government. I don't know if that's. I assume.
Yeah.
I thought Canada voted for their prime minister directly, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, you get the prime minister if your party gets most seats in the house, or if you can build a coalition. If your party don't get most seats in the house, you must negotiate.
So how's the cooking going?
Good. It's finished. Yum, yum, yum. Hey, Rex. Come on, buddy.
Yeah. I just looked at it. It says the latest polling suggests Trudeau's Liberals and O'Toole's Tories are in a virtual dead heat.
voting for 338 members of parliament. God damn, that's a lot to be voting for in one time.
338. You know, actually, Cap, I looked up one time the House of. I was talking with somebody from England
Yes.
a while back, and they mentioned. I said, "Well, how many people do you have in your House of Commons?" Which would be, you know, kind of our equivalent to our House of Representatives. And they said they have over 600 members. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You have
There are not enough. There are not enough seats on that chamber for everybody.
Well, I know why we only have 435. There is actually a limit in law about the number of representatives we have. That's why it's currently set at 435.
Which hopefully needs
Well,
to be changed and updated, but yeah, whatever.
Well,
well,
the problem,
Brazil
actually, Cap, I actually did look into that on the
I said
possibility.
updated, not necessarily how it would be updated, but yeah, go ahead.
I did look. Yeah, I don't know how they would update it because when I did look at, I did some research on that, and what it turned out is a lot of the states, if they say changed it to more back to where it was the number of, you know, the number set by, you know, how many people in the Constitution to that representative, we'd have over 1,000 representatives right now in Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brazil gets 518 representatives. And people wish it was less people, that there was less representatives than that.
Well, what people also don't remember is there are, in the House of Representatives, there's actually more than just the 435, but those are the only ones who can vote on a bill. You have Puerto Rico does have a representative, the Virgin Islands has a representative, but they can't vote on measures, but they can be part of committees and they can vote on legislation in those committees. So they do have some form of representation, just not when it comes to the actual law being passed. But they can be part of the committees that are, and they can write legislation and present it.
Well, that's not enough.
I don't think this whole democracy thing is working out. Too many dumbasses voting. Unfortunately, I have to agree.
Well, the problem with most of these dumbasses voting is they're not thinking, they're just voting blindly. They just vote for whatever they believe is good, but without even doing any research. I mean, I've made it very clear. One of the biggest fucking regrets I ever had was voting for Lindsey Graham when I was in South Carolina. I said flat out, I wish I had done what my wife did and just left it blank. Because as soon as Trump lost, Graham folded like a cheap suit, which I should have known he was going to do that, and I did, and I still voted for him like a dumbass. But at least I'll own up to that.
Let's see here.
What I don't get is how come we're not getting on the government right now, because it looks like they're controlling Biden.
Duh.
What do you think I've been trying to point out?
Not you. I'm talking about like serious, like something.
You're not going to get the mainstream media to go after Biden. It's not going to happen.
No,
I mean,
they're showing it. They're the ones showing that he's a puppet.
Yeah, and then they try to backpedal and make it something else. I mean, you know, when you got him saying things like, Well, LDG, think about this. When you have the president saying things like, I was told not to take any questions. What do you mean you were told? I was told to make this phone call. What do you mean you were told? Who the hell is telling you what to do? You're the fucking president.
Yeah, it's the other way around.
You're going for the wrong target, gentlemen. You should go for his nanny. Don't go for the puppet. Go for the puppet master.
What, his wife, maybe?
I don't know. Whoever has the remote control on Joe Biden.
That would be, you know who.
Yeah, that one.
You know, the woman who will be the first president, female president.
I don't think so.
I'm still waiting. Hey, I'm waiting to see how next year turns out because, yeah, I'm still on that. I would not be surprised if somehow he decides to resign.
Resign. Resign or what else? Whatever comes first.
No, because there's only two ways to remove the president other than a resignation: impeachment or the 25th Amendment.
Or the third way that everybody loves and likes.
No.
No.
Hell no.
No.
He might go away for natural cause.
No. Hello, no.
God, no. I don't even like that in jokes.
No. No. La 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 la. Now, all right. I have to agree, Super Blubberpuss, but I also happen to think that if we don't vote, we don't have the right to say anything.
When I voted in South Carolina the last time, we had a mayor election. The mayor retired, and so they had an election, and there were 5 candidates on there. They all were labeled nonpartisan, so they weren't labeled as Republican or Democrat. So I went through, I looked at their platforms, and I voted for who I thought had the best platform. And what happened was there were 5 people on there. So you voted once, and then there was the top 2 were going to be in a runoff 2 weeks later. So,
okay, and LDG, what's going on? And Bird, you're awfully quiet, so you must be asleep. How was your breakfast? Thumbs up. Good. And maybe when LDG is available to talk, I'll have to ask him about something, because for some reason my computer is, well, other than being a piece of shit,
seems to be working fine. I haven't heard you have any audio issues lately.
Well, I've now had to resort to putting my computer on a fan because it was starting to have heat issues. So much so that a crack developed, a huge crack.
Your heat sink isn't working right?
Correct. Keep in mind, though, computers of today are made so you can't open them.
I know. I hate that. That's why I keep getting asked why I don't buy a desktop. I'm like, if I can't crack the desktop open and fuck around inside of it, I might as well be on a laptop.
I like my laptop. I'd prefer to be on a laptop. And here we go.
What now?
Geeks enjoy blowing noses.
Why does he have Yvette's avatar?
Don't
because
ask.
he likes to pretend to be a vet.
Yes, I go to bed every night.
How was breakfast, LDG?
It was all right. I had a mute because mother was in here and I
Understood.
don't want to hear her.
Understood. I
But she'd
figured
kill
as
me
much.
if she found out she was live. What did you want to ask me?
Well,
Oh, shit. 1 second.
no problem.
Is Bert playing that game he was playing yesterday?
I don't know. Oh, yes, he is. But he is proving that he isn't asleep.
Yes. Well, it's funny you said that, and then exactly when you said that, the game started to pop up. I was like, ah. Oh.
And let me see real quick. All right, it is about 18 minutes-ish until Resolute Germ stream starts, so I'm going to go ahead get things started to close down. But here is the link. Go over and watch when it starts. I need to do a couple things like go to the bathroom and such. And I will be watching. Here's the link. Again, I do want to thank everyone who's been on the panel, everyone who's been in the chat. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead, end things for now. Please go on over to Resolute Germs and join us there for Saturday morning cartoons. It'd be much appreciated. Go ahead, leave a like. From watching this on the replay and gotten this far, leave a comment, please. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Have a good day.